Gemini, what is up, Buttercup? Welcome to your general timeless reading. So if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. My name is Jordan. I'm a master Reiki practitioner as well as a quantum healer and spiritual and shamanic life coach. So obviously I read tarot. All personal bookings, courses, certifications down below, as well as my tarot course. It is now live. It covers astrology, numerology, tarot, and channeling, as well as some other goodies for you. So go ahead, check that out. But Gemini, let's see what's going on. I am an intuitive reader, so I kind of just do my readings as what I'm called to do. And I felt like using the Shaman's Dream for you today. I don't use this deck the way we're about to often, but I'm curious to see why. Gemini, for Gemini. Gemini, they're showing me the Empress card in my mind's eye. Okay. I feel like you're going to be releasing a lot of attack. This feels like a person. It feels like a person. It feels very, ooh. It doesn't feel like you're going to be breaking up, kind of releasing attachment. I feel like the way that you might have perceived this relationship is really going to start changing. You're going to have a lot of freedom within yourself. So next we have the Magician's Sword. Confidence in your magic in reverse, which is 37, breaks down to a 10. Unmarked trail, revelation. Yeah, you're about to, okay, I like this. You're about to travel into a very deep sense of authenticity. And it's like the level of detachment you might think you have right now, your mind's going to be blown about how detached you can really get and how free you can really feel. Like the kind of freedom that you will literally cry with gratitude for, like, just existing. It's a very beautiful detached state, and that's what this really feels like to me as a reader. The universe is your partner. Then you have the many masks, the authentic self as your overall energy. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sorry, trying to get this lighting, this card to show up for you. Many masks. 38, which is 11. Wait, no. Whoa, Jordan. No, it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, master number 11. 4, 12, which breaks down to a 3, so 3, 4, 11, 10, 14 breaks down to another 5, so change, and then 4, another 4, yeah, which is stability. I like that your 4s are upright. Oh no, never mind. But with the ego sublimation and then wailing tree reconciliation, the reconciliation is with yourself. You're calling the parts of you back home that you might have lost through this relationship or the many relationships in your life. It's going to be that aha moment of realizing, like, I've been giving so much of my time and energy to the people external to me, thinking that, well, they're the reason I have this wound, they're the reason I have that wound. You're going to have that very significant awareness that regardless of how the wound got there, it's in your power to call the part of you that you traded for that wound back. Be like, you know what, I'm not going to attach this belief anymore. Give me my power back. And you take it, instead of giving so much power to that belief or to the person where you attach to the belief or the situation, right? And that's why confidence is your magic. With confidence as your magic and the revelation, it's the awareness I was just speaking on, and really starting to trust in the universe again to support that. I love this for you. Ooh, I feel so much crown, third eye for you, but I feel a lot of the feminine's going to go through really releasing a lot of blockages. My left side's very, like, tight with you. So if I am, like, struggling to talk some a little bit, it's just because it feels very, like, dry on that side, like my ear, my throat, all of it. It's really interesting. I'm going to be using Grand Lux Tarot. Again, if you want a personal reading or Reiki session, any of that, it's all down below through my website description box. Your first booking with me, you get 15% off. So go ahead, check it out. So let's see what's going on here for Gemini. Oh, this feels so nice. It feels so nice because it feels, it's funny, I think I said the same word for Aquarius. It feels liberating. I feel like the commitment you're making to yourself, like your own soul, because the Hierophant is teacher, it's spirituality, it's higher states of consciousness. It is commitments, institutions, marriage, if you look at it in a really 3D sense. But considering this has to do with your perception of yourself, this is going to be a very higher consciousness reading where we'll still talk about your relationships and how it affects it. But the things that you're learning are for your own personal growth, and they're having a trickle effect into the other areas of your life. Yep, 6 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. You're going to really get out of this desire that the current is our attachment. I should really say it's on desire, right? Attachment to understanding, like always understanding so deeply, like the nooks and crannies of every little thing. you're going to just flow. You're going to get to such a state of flow that your attachment to knowing turns to surrender and non-attachment, which is absolutely beautiful. And that's why you're a page of swords. Swords are thought, intellect, communication, and perception. And the pages are the students. You're learning the lesson, right? The teacher is teaching you a lesson. Your higher consciousness, your higher power, teaching you the lesson of how to flow. And that's why the ego, right? This need to attach or know, because it's really rooted in fear, is falling away. Sublimination. Beautiful. Let's look at the reconciliation. Okay, whoa, this is a really heavy one. I like this though. It doesn't feel heavy in a bad way. Yep, so there's the 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. There's that heaviness. Yeah, 6 of Wands. It's a desire for recognition. So if you find yourself moving or presenting yourself to the world, or thinking that, like, something I heard that, oh my goodness, it was when I heard this on my journey, it really was a really big lesson. Realizing that you don't need to be a showman in your relationships, right? Save your showmanship for your work, right? But you don't need to be a showman in your relationships. For the people that love and care for you and you love and care for, you can be your authentic self in all areas of your life, really. But if you're going to perform anywhere, allow it to be in your work or your career or your platforms. You know what I mean? But you don't need to be a showman in your relationships to know that you are loved. And with the 9s here, it's just validation that you are going through the mastery of self. The 9s are mastery of self. The 10s are our environment in tarot. So with the 9 of Pentacles, it's telling me you're going to get to a place of where you no longer fear really being seen or how you're perceived. Like, you just get to, quite frankly, you get the fuckets, right? And I love getting the fuckets. I love it. If you know me, you know me, and I don't care what people think, because everybody has their own lens, and their lens is rooted in their own life experience, their own trauma, their own experiences that are positive as well. And so when you really get to that place of like, I like who I am, and that's where you're going, the fuckets are going to come in big time. You're going to be like, you can think whatever you want about me, but I also know that I'm going places, right? I'm going to where it's meant for me. And it's in no comparison to you, because I love myself and I've called all of me back home. And so with the 4 of Cups and the 6 of Wands, the parts of you you're calling home are the parts of you you might reject because you don't want to give them recognition. Most of the time, these parts are the parts of us that, like, we're ashamed of. And like, shame and guilt are probably like the 2 most difficult emotions for us in a human physical plane to really integrate. And it's because it requires us to really look at ourselves and accept, like, okay, I behaved in a way that I'm not proud of, right? That's shame, right? Or I said something that I'm not happy about, or I feel guilty for, right? And I never apologized for it. And now I'm ashamed because of that guilt, right? They kind of piggyback on one another. And so you're really going to start realizing, like, the role that you played in something that maybe at one point you only looked at how it was done unto you. And now you're going to look at how you participated in it and understand the energetic exchange. And that's when you're really going to start to feel free. Because you're not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it for you, to, like, accept the fact that, like, I have tools now that I didn't have then that allow me to heal this and really let it go. And that's going to be very beneficial for you. And this is where the relationship comes in. So because now you're getting to that realization. So let's look at confidence in your magic. They're going to come in here. I feel them the closer we get to the end. And it's because you're calling yourself back home. In shamanism, they call it recapitulation, when you call your soul back to yourself. Not in psychology, has a much different meaning, kind of. With the Fool in reverse and the King of Wands and the Ace, okay, I love this. They're very supportive of you. They're not going anywhere. If you doubt that this person's going to leave, or that you two are, you're not. You're staying. You are transforming in a really big way, though. Yeah, Ace of Cups. You might think that, okay, I'm sorry, you ain't gonna like me. You might think your heart's open, but it hasn't been. It hasn't been. So this is like when, it's funny, I actually just had this conversation the other day with somebody. Emotional unavailability shows up in 2 forms. It shows up as the person who gives so much emotion, but struggles to receive. So they're emotionally unavailable. They're shut down. Ding, 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 ding. But they might seem really nurturing, really loving, right? And the other side is the person who is not a giver, but they can receive fine and say, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. That's so sweet. But they might struggle to give compliments. They might struggle to be that ray of sunshine, right? So emotional availability shows up in multiple ways. And that's just 2 of the main ones. But that's really what this feels like. And I feel like you're realizing the role you play in this dynamic. A big contributor to the steadiness of it is this lack of emotional availability. And it's coming up because now you've called yourself home. And so you're realizing the parts of yourself that you were not emotionally available to. And in turn, it was being reflected in your relationship. So I like that you're seeing this now, because it tells me that your confidence, right? Confidence is your magic. King of Wands, very confident energy. That's what's leading you into this new beginning, because you're starting to feel empowered again. You're starting to realize the tools you have, the lessons you've had, and you're celebrating your journey. Regardless of how rigorous or difficult it was, you're celebrating it. And this person played a really big role in it too. So let's look at the unmarked trail. Two of Pentacles. You are stubborn. You are so stubborn. You're like, I'm not going to tell them, but I don't know if I want to move forward with them. And that's not true. It's your fear. It's your fear. And that's why your path's going to look very different than you anticipate. You might have been attached to walking away from this for a long time, thinking that you were meant for something greater, without thinking that the something greater actually lies in diving deeper into the relationship. It's quite ironic, because with the Queen of Wands in reverse, this is how you perceive them, right? You perceive them as someone who is combative or stubborn, or even maybe at times manipulative. They're going through a really big change, just as you are. The King of Swords and Strength in reverse. I don't think that there's a part of you that feels it can really communicate the things it's scared of or fearful about genuinely. You might say it very logically, analytically, but are you being vulnerable? Vulnerability and logical or cognitive understanding and expression are two very different things. You could sit there and be like, hey, I have this fear. This fear makes me feel X, Y, Z. This fear surfaces when this happens. That's a very cognitive, analytical way of explaining something, which is great. You're getting somewhere. But the vulnerability comes in when you start to really explore the depth of it. Exploring together that it goes beyond just their behavior. That it's also something that is triggering an old part of you, or it makes this part of you feel like it's not enough. And that's something you have to work on, right? That is vulnerability. And it's like, well, when you say you don't want to have dinner with me because you have friends or blah, 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 it makes me feel like I'm insignificant. Well, is it really rooted in that thing, or is you already have a core belief that you're insignificant in some way and that's supporting it? That's vulnerability, when you're like, okay, let's get into the nitty gritty, dirty, yucky crap, right? And you're really like exploring it. You're gonna get leaps and bounds ahead of where you're at. Let's look at in the hand. You're gonna get a lot of support here. Yeah, Magician, Queen of Cups. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. They love you so much. They do. They love you so much. They're not going anywhere. They know that you are capable of creating such incredible things, and they don't plan on standing in your way, making you small, none of it. Yeah. Ace of Swords in reverse. I feel like you might be seeing them through a lens of, an old heartbreak. Yeah. Three of Swords in reverse. When you finally release that Three of Swords, that's when this relationship's going to reconcile and it's really going to start to improve. Yeah, there's a part of you that's hesitant to really address that old hurt and pain, though. It does not have to do with this partner. It has to do with a previous partner. It's not this person. You might be seeing them with the lens that you adopted from that previous relationship, but it's only you can take that lens off and see them new, fresh eyes. Many masks. Emperor. Yeah, I love this for you. The whole purpose of this relationship is for you and your partner to move into a very healthy sense of power and authority, but also reliability. I feel like reliability is really important for both of you, because there's this desire for recognition. There's this desire for being supported, but you both are still learning to do that for yourselves. And when you really do that for yourselves, that's when you're both going to just take off. You're really just going to take off, and it's going to be amazing for the two of you. But this is going to be a very deep look at yourselves. Yeah, synchronicity. Yeah, closed door. Yeah, stop chasing the whatever this idea is of like a different foundation. Stop chasing it, because it's not meant for you. It's time to move on from the idea you have of what this... I feel like a lot of people are anticipating that this is not their person. You're going to learn so much from this person, and your journey's not done with them. It's not. You have no endings on the board. You have new beginnings all over the place. You have a reconciliation energy. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, the Fool, Three of Wands, all this energy about incoming energy. You don't have an ending with this person. The door that's closed is the perception you have about it being done, right? Or about dropping it. That's what's closing, because there's a part of you that's wanting to drop it or run away from it because it's challenging you to really look at yourself. We do that very often as humans. Like, we so often say, it must be the relationship, it must be this job, it's just not meant for me because it's not working. Nope. It could just be an opportunity for you to really get to know yourself deeper. That's really what's going on here. Let's see what's underneath closed door. Yep, abundance in reverse and open door. Wow, looky there. Underneath that is the choice. You have a choice to take this opportunity and really experience a very abundant life and love, not only for yourself, but for the people that are already in it. Gemini. What a doozy. What a doozy. If you want a reading to look into your own personal situation, go ahead, book it down below through my website and description box. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to be part of your journey. I'd love to help you. And I offer readings in person as well as online. So regardless of where you're located or recorded, you can book with me. Same thing goes for all my mentorship programs, whether you want to become an energy healer, a Reiki master, a quantum healer, if you want to be life coached by me. All of that can be done online or in person, regardless of where you are. So I look forward to being part of your journey. Like, share, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.